Let's get more analysis now on the situation in Ukraine. Joining me is former British Army intelligence officer and chief executive of McKenzie Intelligence, Forbes McKenzie. Good to see you, Forbes. Well, as Sally Lockwood, our correspondent in Kiev, was saying, the Ukrainians have now withdrawn from Lysychansk. What will the Ukrainians be doing now as they try and regroup? And also, what is Russia's next target?
The Ukrainians at the minute will be moving back to a line, it's a road, the E40, and it really joins up Lysychansk and Bakhmut here. There's some elements be left behind by the Ukrainians, whether they've been left there on purpose or not, but certainly they'll be slowing down the Russian advance. And that will allow the Ukrainians time to get back into their next defensive positions. I would assess they're already pre-prepared. Because it was silent over the weekend from the Ukrainians, it would therefore make sense this was a planned operation. Intelligence indicates it was successful in achieving the aims. There will be pre-prepared defensive positions, and those that have been in contact from the Ukrainian side will now be reconstituting in the rear echelons. The Russians, though, in the short term, they've worked hard for this ground. To take Lysychansk, there has been tens of combat units have been committed to this. The Ukrainians have been successful in making the Russians fight kilometre by kilometre. So therefore, there's definitely a process of the Russians putting together their combat capability. That's the kind of the medium term. Their operational long-term goal is, of course, moving into the Donbass. How quickly can they do that? It may take 6 weeks for them to get in a position where they can move. But we'll start seeing activity now to the north of Lysychansk and to the area of Bakhmut as well. Whether they're attacks in force or attacks more in a kind of probing effect, we'll see over the next couple of weeks.
So 6 weeks just to regroup before they even begin the offensive then?
I would assess that to be the case. You know, they've got to think about munitions, they've got to think about fuel, they've got to think about food, they've got to think about their own people on the ground, the morale of those people. There's a lot to be done.
Yeah. President Zelensky has said that he wants to retake land that has been lost to the Russians, but he'll need more weapons in order to do that. What's he talking about?
Yes, he's talking about the artillery pieces that are now coming into action. The Caesar system, a 155mm artillery piece from the French, have been brought into action. The HIMARS system, which we see here, this is the Japanese type from the US. The US have donated 8 of these in total. 4 are in action. The other 4 to come in a couple of weeks' time. I would assess they need a combat mass of 54 to have real effect. They can fire 6 rockets at any one time, be in action in 16 seconds. They can shoot, they can scoot, they can survive. It's the type of munitions that the Ukrainians will need in order to deter and defeat the Russians in the coming months. This piece here was used at the weekend. On the 2nd of July, an airport in the municipal region had a lot of equipment on it from the Russians. We understand yesterday on the 3rd, this weapon system was used against those aircraft. So starting to come into action now, but will take a period of months to commit properly.
OK. Forbes, thank you as always.